The average American spends $1,700 a month on rent alone. But what if I told you there was a way to trade that $1,700 studio apartment for a villa on the beach and essentially travel for free? Here are 8 tips to help you become a digital nomad this year. Let's dive into it. Tip number 1. Get a remote job. You can become a digital nomad on almost any budget, but you do need some sort of income or job. Are you interested in YouTube? Maybe you can become a content creator, but that might take some time before you make a living wage. If you want a faster, sure thing, I'd recommend getting a job in the tech industry. You can start off with a no-code job like recruiting and then train up to become something like a web developer or a software engineer. By learning how to code, you will all but ensure that you'll always have job opportunities, since the vast majority of developer jobs are online. And the salaries aren't half bad either. Whatever you decide to get into, choose your company carefully. And I'll explain why throughout the rest of this video. Tip number 2, decide which region to start with. Do you want to start locally and expand? Maybe you've always had a dream of backpacking across Europe. Be sure to consider the required working hours of your job when making this decision, since if you choose a place too many time zones away, you might find yourself working either really late or really early and not getting to see your destination as you'd like. Wherever you decide to travel, start by making a list of all the places you'd like to go in that region. So, if I chose Europe, I might write down London, Paris, Lisbon, Barcelona, and Athens. Tip number 3, carefully choose your first stop. This step is crucial, so don't underestimate it. Once you've identified the region and listed all the places you'd like to go, you need to pick a starting point. But don't just pick one at random, and this is why. For your first digital nomad experience, you want to pick a location that has high marks in these 3 categories: safety, transportation, and connectivity. And here's why. By choosing a place that's safe, you'll be encouraged to get out and about more, and as a result, you'll enjoy more time outside of your Airbnb or hostel. If the location has good transportation, you'll be able to see more of it in a shorter span of time and really make yourself feel like a local. And if your destination has good connectivity, you'll be able to keep up with work whether you're at home, a coffee shop, or on the beach. Your first stop is crucial. It's what will influence your views on the rest of your journey as a digital nomad and potentially the entire journey itself. So take some time and make a good choice. Tip number 4, travel for 1 month at a time. Some people prefer to travel quickly, hopping on flights every 2 days, and that's great. But when you're working as a digital nomad, large portions of your day will probably be taken up by just that, work. I found that by staying in a place for a minimum of 2 weeks, but more ideally a month, I have enough time to actually see and get a feel for the location. Also, by staying for longer, you'll usually be able to get a larger discount on your housing, and you'll save money by not having to purchase as many flights within a small time period. And here's a caveat. I say flights because most people will be using airplanes as their primary means of getting from country to country. But if you've got a boat or a van, more power to you. Tip number 5. Use co-working spaces. This is one I messed up on in my first year as a digital nomad. When I booked a really great, beautiful place, I barely left it. And when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling solo, it's already difficult to meet people in a new location. By confining yourself to your accommodation, unless it already comes with a community, you'll find yourself feeling more lonely than ever before and miss out on all your new city has to offer. But it doesn't have to be that way. By using a CoWork Space instead of working from home, you'll be thrust into a community of other digital nomads in the area and will make fast friends. Another bonus of working in a CoWork Space is that you don't have to worry as much about the Wi-Fi speed at your rental before you get there, since you'll always have a reliable place to work from. Tip number 6, use your downtime to explore. Don't move to a new place and get stuck in the same old routine. At the end of your workday or before it even starts, make some time to go out and explore your new city. See the sights. And if you're finding this video helpful, consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing. Tip number 7, don't buy souvenirs. One of the challenges of being a digital nomad is carrying everything you own and use for months at a time. And as tempting as it might be, try not to buy too many souvenirs. They'll just add weight to your bags. Instead, what I recommend doing is buying something practical that you need from each location, like a scarf or a pair of shorts. That way, you'll always remember that place when you use those things. For instance, these are my France pants. Tip number 8, travel back to your home country as often as necessary. Some countries require their citizens to spend a certain amount of time in the country each year for benefits like healthcare to remain active. But in other cases, it might be your company who wants you to stay home. Some companies might require their employees to stay within a certain jurisdiction while they're working. Or they might have a maximum number of weeks that you can work abroad each year due to tax regulations. Before you accept your job offer, be sure to find this out. Or, alternatively, just become a freelancer instead. Wondering how to get a job as a front-end engineer? Click on the link in the description below. Or if you just want to learn how to code, check out our Learn to Code playlist right here, and I'll see you in the next one.